As many of you know, I believe the Réti opening is the best chess opening that you can play for white. And I believe this because the Réti creates such tactical and dynamic positions that are very fun to play while also being very solid. And within the opening, you will often create an advantage, and with the tactical and dynamic play of the Réti, you will be able to convert them to a win. So what I've done in this video is I've picked 4 different games that I recently played in my Journey to 2000 series. We're trying to hit 2000 Elo. I'm going to show you guys some of these games. I hope you enjoy them. All of them are very fun games, and they all have very different concepts. Because as you all know, I've created multiple opening videos on the Réti. I actually have 2 different masterclasses that are published. So if you enjoy this game, if you think maybe the Réti is for you, go check out those openings and watch those as well. I'll attach a link to those too. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys how we can get the advantage and how we can convert the advantage into a win. And even if you've seen my other 2 videos, my other 2 opening videos, many of these concepts are not in those videos, and this also includes some Réti theory. So for my Réti lovers, I hope you enjoy this video. Lastly, I will say if you're interested in chess coaching, I will attach a link in the description and the comments. Now, this first game I believe to be one of my best Blitz chess games ever, and I actually converted this into a short last night. And the game starts out with this pretty common Réti theory that you guys are aware of. If you don't know this line, with b4 sacrificing a pawn, go watch my Réti Masterclass Part 2 where I really cover this one in depth. But they decide to play this losing move b6, and I sacrifice the knight here. And you take here because after they take back, you play queen f3, attacking the rook in the corner. You will win some serious material in this game. And this is a trap. Actually, my Réti Masterclass Part 1 shows this exact line. So now you take back. You don't need to rush with this move because they will take with a check. It's just simpler to actually just take here first because the rook is still hanging in the corner. They have a few ideas they could play. They could try to play bishop b7, but ultimately you're still winning material. I won't spend a ton of time with these exact lines, but they played the move queen c7. I take, and they try to trap my queen. Now you take here, trying to get your queen out of danger. And now when they develop, you develop as well. They go for an attack, which again, as I said in the short, was premature. They should have instead played e6, focusing on development, attacking this weak pawn. And of course, here, there's multiple options you can play. You can actually go for the immediate knight b5 because you're attacking the queen, or you can play a slow move like a3 to defend your pawn. But they did not do that. They went for this move knight g4. I went for the attack, and I took here on queen takes b6. Now when they play e6, I give a check. The king comes out, and I play this move c5, threatening an attack here. So they go over king f6, trying to avoid the attack, and now I play this bishop b2. I want to point out, I did not say this in my short, but if they had went back here, this would have been a checkmate in 1. So instead, they went away, which gives me another attack. And just notice in this opening how we're already up material. We're up 5 points material, and look at this amazing, fun attacking game that we already have. Now when they play this move f5, I take here with a discovered attack, a threaten of a discovered attack with this queen here. So they block knight f6. I play rook f1. I'm not spending a ton of time on this because many of you guys probably saw this video in my short. I play rook f1 to attack another weak pawn, and just look at the fun chess we're having. Now when they take on g2, I take giving a check, and when they run away to king h6, I play rook f4, trying to set up some kind of checkmating ideas, trying to rook lift and get away from danger. Now when they play knight b to d7, as I said in the short, I give a check, and I thought a brilliant move, which was what I play, was bishop e5, which of course hangs the queen, which is what happened in the game. But after you give this check, they block, which is a forced move, and you deliver a beautiful checkmate by giving away the queen. And you may wonder, well, what happens if they take here? Well, then you play knight f4 check, a discovered check, also attacking the queen. And no matter what they play, if they block here, this is actually going to be a mate in 1. And of course, as I said in the short, I will point out, the best move was not that bishop move that I went for, but instead was instead actually to go for this immediate knight f4, giving away the queen. But of course, if they take the queen, it is simply going to be a mate in 1. Now, I wanted to show this quick one because I believe it's a very fun game, and this trap that you see here, guys, is very, very common, where you actually will win the rook in the corner. So I wanted to show this quick example. Now, my second example is actually my favorite Réti trap that I've ever shown, and so I want you guys to pay attention to this one. This one is very, very fun too as well. We play the standard lines here. We get in a very similar position, but now they push. Now, this happens. Now, you guys may say this doesn't happen, but this is against a 1624 Elo. This does happen where they push the pawn further. Now you play knight e5, attacking this. Now, this is a move, as I said in my first Réti masterclass, that I actually found by kind of using the engine, kind of messing around, just like looking at these positions, and found this move. I never saw this on like a chess video or a YouTube video. This is something I kind of found myself. So now when they play bishop f5, which is an inaccuracy, but they always play it every time, 100% of the time they play that. Now you play queen f3, and notice what we have here. Now, in this position, I actually considered going for the more fun move of bishop takes d3, which looks like kind of like a sacrifice, but it's actually going to be a checkmate in one. So instead, I actually went for what I knew to be the best line of queen takes b7. Now when they play knight d7, for those who watched my first masterclass, pause and test yourself. What is the move to play here? But the move is actually to take here. It actually is to take because obviously they're not going to take with the queen, they would hang the rook. But you may say, well, they'll take with the king. But now you give this check, which is what happened in the game. They go king e8, you give another check, and now the queen is forced to block. You take the rook, and then you just simplify the game. Now here I played this move, knight c3. I'm going to show you guys how we convert this huge advantage that we have. We play e4, we're going to block the bishop, and we're going to take the free pawn. Now, of course, they cannot just simply take because the pawn is still protected, and they develop knight f6. And I play this move f3, which is actually the best move in the position to just kind of hold everything, make their bishop horrible. You're up 6 points of material, but let's make it even better. Let's crush in their bishop so that our position becomes even stronger. Now when they capture, I take back this way, trying to build a center, slide back, and play this move d4, attacking the knight. Now they try to defend the knight, but I simply take it. I mean, of course, I probably could have considered other moves, but I decided to take it because we're up so much material. And the game ends right here because notice we actually win the rook. We're up 2 rooks and a bishop. I guess they have a bishop as well, but we're completely crushing. I'm not going to show you guys this whole game just for the sake of the video. I don't want it to be too long. But as you guys can tell, we are completely winning out of this amazing ready trap that I've showed you guys. Now, the third one I want to show you guys, pay attention because this is a powerful idea that you're going to encounter because, of course, when you play the Réti Opening, a lot of times you actually transpose into a Queen's Gambit. So I want you guys to pay attention because this is a very common idea that you'll find not only in the Réti but also in the Queen's Gambit. But I want to show you guys this because this is very common. Now when they play bishop g4, you jump in knight e5, attacking the bishop. Now these were all blitz games, so of course not all of these moves are going to be the best moves. They're 3-minute blitz games, but the ideas still stand. I play bishop g5. The threat is very simple. If they were to try and just cover their knight or do anything, let's say, for example, they play a random move, well, of course you can just capture because if they capture, they lose their queen. And if they instead try to just like cover their knight, well, you just take the knight and take the free bishop. So they cannot do that. So instead, he plays this move bishop f5, which is a good move. And I'm going to show you guys an idea here with this move pawn g4 that I actually saw from Daniel Naroditsky. He showed me this idea, not me personally, but I watched one of his videos and I found this idea. I want you guys to be familiar with this. Now, what is so special about pawn g4? Pawn g4 is amazing because, first of all, they cannot capture. I mean, obviously, you see that the queen is actually pinned, or the knight is pinned to the queen, so obviously they cannot capture with this way, but even if they could, this idea still stands. Now, how do you achieve this idea, and what is the idea? You achieve this idea by having a knight and a queen that are both defending g4. Now, when the bishop moves, you play this move h4, and what you guys may realize the threat that we're starting to achieve. They go bishop e7, trying to maybe get the pin weak, and maybe they can get out of this danger, but now you play h5, and when they go bishop e4, you guys notice the real threat, f3, and this bishop is completely trapped. Now, I want to show this idea because this is very common. I want you guys to be familiar with this because you can win a lot of games like this. Now, I'll show you how we convert it. We trade everything down. And I play this move, queen c2, which is not the best move, but I'm just trying to attack this pawn. I'm not really that afraid of this because I feel like I'm still going to win this pawn, and it's a pretty solid position. So instead, I play queen c2, and they play this move queen b4, and now I go here, actually trying to encourage another trade because what do you notice? We're up 2 points of material. We should trade down. So now when they go away, bishop g2, just trying to attack this pawn again, and of course we do win it. And here was, again, a little bit of an inaccuracy. I probably should have played a move like bishop f3, but of course it's 3-minute blitz, and these things happen. They go queen g5, and now notice the amazing attack that we have. Now, all of this is also common because of the Reti's tactical and dynamic play, as I've been saying throughout this video. Rook g3, rook hg1. I am threatening to just win the queen. I'm okay with this because I have a queen and a bishop. And as you can see here, we play a brilliant move. It doesn't say it because I have the notations turned off, but rook takes g6 is a brilliant move. And what do they play here? Of course, if queen takes, well, actually, we just take with the bishop. So, of course, they take here, and if the king moves, I take with the queen. So, if the pawn takes, which is what happened in the game, you take with the other rook, and you win the queen. And I'll just show you guys how we kind of hold the position together. We set some discoveries, and we win the game with this move bishop c2, which is the best move on the board, discovered attack, and pick up the piece. And of course, we completely win this. The very last one I want to show you guys is some Reti theory that's not in my Reti masterclass videos, but it's something I just want to talk about and I want to make you guys aware of. So what happens if they just play a line like this? It's all very standard. This is actually very, very common, and probably what you'll encounter almost all the time when you play the Reti if they play into these kind of slower, like, developing lines. So what I like to do is castle and simply slide over rook e1. Now, I want to point out, in this example, it's a little different because the bishop has actually developed to this square, and normally these pawns are not so advanced. When you play the Reti, you guys will probably be looking at this position like, I don't encounter this very often. But this idea that I want to show you does occur very often. Now you play e4. So, what is the point? Didn't we waste a move by playing e3? Well, we didn't, because we've kind of baited them into this setup where we're threatening to actually play e5 and fork the pieces. So they actually just castled, and we won with the fork. Now, I'm going to kind of slow down here because I want to say this idea works in almost every position. In a lot of positions that when you play the Reti, you will have this idea of threatening e5 for some kind of fork. Now, in this exact position, it actually didn't work as well because they could have played this move pawn b4, and you still would have played e5, and something along these lines would have occurred. Something like this would have occurred, and this is still a very fun position to play. It's not as favorable, but the reason that I'm pointing this out and kind of slowing down a little bit is because normally in the Reti they do not have this. This is a very uncommon setup for them to actually push these pawns, almost like it's a Rui Lopez kind of defense. But this idea is very common. I want you guys to think about pushing the pawn to e5 to try and, even if we didn't have this fork, to just simply try and have an attack on the king. And this is actually what happened in the game. So they actually played this move knight d5, I take, and look at this amazing attack we have. Queen b3 attacking the pawn, knight f6, bishop g5 pins the knight to the queen. So now we remove the defender and take the pawn. And I'm just going to kind of show this very quickly. They had a very great idea with this move pawn g4. Now, what is so great about pawn g4? Well, if we simply move the knight, they're actually going to checkmate us with this move queen f1. So we cannot move the knight, or if the knight went somewhere else, let's just say, I don't know where else the knight would even go. But the knight can't move is the point of it. So I play this move rook d2, where if they take my knight, I'm going to take their rook. So instead, after rook d2, they play this move rook fc8, I take, and then I give a check, and I play this move queen e4, which ends the game. This is the last move of the game, I believe. I don't know why it shows that, because I think this was the last move of the game. Yeah, I think it's because I went to the engine to kind of look further into it. It's the last move because I'm attacking the rook and I'm attacking this pawn. So, of course, if they take here, I win the rook. And if they were to play a move, which, as I showed, was actually this move rook c7 that you guys probably just saw, well, then you would just take here, and either way, it's game over. Now, these are just 4 examples. I have a ton more examples in my Reti Masterclass Part 1, my Reti Masterclass Part 2, which is a little more advanced, and I have a one called 3 Brilliant Traps in the Reti. Go watch those if you guys are interested in this. If you want to learn some more traps that I have on the Reti is a fun, amazing opening. I love to play it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please consider giving it a like. If you made it this far, let me know what you guys think of these games and which game of these was your favorite. I would like to know. And if you guys are interested in chess coaching, of course, I'll attach a link in the description and a link in the comments as well. Thank you guys so much for watching.